On Saturday, May 17th, Southeastern Louisiana University will honor its most acclaimed alumnus, ABC's Good Morning America host, Robin Roberts. The university will present Robin with an honorary doctorate at its 2014 spring commencement ceremony. A 1983 communication graduate and former basketball star, Robin learned her basic broadcasting skills as a student athlete working at the university's KSLU radio station and as the part-time sports director at local Hammond radio station, WFPR. She entered the broadcasting field upon graduation and eventually joined ESPN, hosting SportsCenter and starring on the popular NFL Primetime. She joined the Good Morning America team in 2005. At Southeastern, Robin was a standout player on the women's basketball team, ending her career as the Lady Lions' third all-time leading scorer and rebounder. Named the university's Distinguished Alumna of the Year in 1996, the Pass Christian, Mississippi native has also been inducted into Southeastern's Athletics Hall of Fame and the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame by the WNBA. In 2006, she was named one of the NCAA's 100 most influential student athletes in conjunction with the NCAA Centennial Celebration. Southeastern Athletics retired her jersey in 2011 with a ceremony in the University Center. Robin, who was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2007, has been honored for her efforts to call attention to the disease, receiving awards from the Susan G. Komen Foundation and the Congressional Families Cancer Prevention Program. She is the author of several books, including From the Heart, 7 Rules to Live By, and My Story, My Song, Mother-Daughter Reflections on Life and Faith, co-written with her late mother, Lucy Marianne Roberts and Missy Buchanan. In From the Heart, Robin shares truths which have guided her life and successes dating back to childhood. Robin was born in Alabama in 1960, the youngest of 4 children. And she grew up around the world. Her father, Lawrence, was a colonel in the Air Force and a member of the famed Tuskegee Airmen during World War II. Her mother, Lucy Marion, was the first in her family to go to college.
They both came from very humble beginnings and set these really lofty goals for themselves, and had 4 children that they just wanted to be responsible adults. 2 are in broadcasting. My sister Sally Ann, of course, at WWL in New Orleans, another sister who is a social worker in Mississippi, and a brother who was a stockbroker who's now an English teacher in Houston.
Robin attributes her success to them because of their loving yet strict ideals.
We had a no wine zone in the Roberts household. My parents just wouldn't put up with it. And they also, by their example, told us that we were not to play the race card, the gender card, any other card, that we had to be responsible for our actions and to not fault our failures or limitations for others, not to blame it on others, that we had to work on ourselves. And when you have that kind of mentality growing up and not looking for excuses, and it would have been easy as a black woman to say, if I didn't get a job, oh, it's because, which I did one time. I did say that to my parents. I didn't get it because I'm a black woman. And they quickly sat me down and said, maybe it's because you're not good enough yet. Have you ever thought about that? We love you. Why don't you think about that instead of the other? And I was like, ooh, okay, 2 people who love me the most, that kind of hurt, ouch. But it really instilled in me the ability to look at myself, my strengths and weaknesses, and work on myself. Not to say isms aren't out there. Racism, sexism, classism, which is just it's paramount right now. They do exist, but look first to what you can do to improve yourself.
After her father retired, her family settled in Pass Christian, Mississippi, where Robin was a standout tennis and basketball player. She came to Southeastern in 1979 on a basketball scholarship.
You know, everyone always says you got to go from a big university to make it big time, and this university here laid such a foundation for me. I chose to come here. I was all set to go to a bigger school down the road in LSU, and I saw Southeastern Louisiana University next right on the interstate. I took that right, and it was the best right I've ever taken.
Robin says this campus is where her life truly began.
Here at Southeastern, I grew up. I learned how to balance that's the first time I ever had a checking account. I remember it was right across campus, went over there, didn't have much money in it, but learned how to balance my checkbook, learned how to balance my life, learned how to go to school, work, play basketball, balance my life. How do you do that when you have so many things that are going on? But it was the people really more than anything. I learned so much. It was countless. I mean, I can't tell you the quality education that I received. I would put it up against any education in the country. But it was much more than that. There were instructors who cared. There were the community that cared. I've often said it was the best small town college experience anyone could ever have. And I can't really say small town anymore. I can't believe how this place has grown, and the university has grown. It's not such a little secret anymore, Southeastern. I used to like when it was just a little secret, but people, the secret is out. The gold is out.
In 2006, as a Christmas gift presented on Good Morning America, co-host Diane Sawyer gave Robin a big surprise: a scholarship in her name for a student from Pass Christian High School to attend Southeastern.
I was floored. I was absolutely floored. But what a proud moment, you know, my two alma maters. And so to know that there's going to be someone from my hometown in the past coming here and following in my footsteps, what more could you ask for? What more could, it was I would say the best Christmas gift I've received in a very long time.
As a college athlete, she learned that success follows doing things from the heart.
We got tired of LSU beating us up. And I remember it was my junior year. We're in the old Cow Palace, Cephalou, and just refused to let them beat us. Just refused to go. Just wasn't going to happen. Wasn't going to happen. And because Coach Puckett at the time, actually it was my sophomore year, and Coach Puckett, I remember her saying to us, people can be better than you, they can have more skill than you have, but there's no reason why they should want victory more than you do. That's a matter of heart. And we beat them. You know, the big Goliath, we beat them. And I remembered that. And I've kind of, everything I've done, especially here at Southeastern and other life lessons, I've applied it, that I learned through sports, I've applied it to my day-to-day life. And I think that's very important.
What Robin learned helped her move quickly up the career ladder. After stints as a sportscaster in Biloxi, Nashville, and Atlanta, Robin landed at ESPN in 1990. There she hosted SportsCenter and contributed to the show NFL Primetime, and she was the primary reporter for both Summer and Winter Olympics. Then, in May 2005, Robin became the third anchor on Good Morning America. As Robin describes in her book chapter, Go Beyond the Comfort Zone, moving from primetime sports to national news was a leap she'd never imagined she'd make.
That was big for me because I've always wanted to be in sports. I never really thought of anything else. And I realized I was scared. I realized I wasn't doing it because this is my comfort zone. It's great to be, you know, comfortable with what you're doing, but it was more of a fear factor, and that's what, you know, really inhibits us.
Then, August 29th, 2005. Hurricane Katrina tore through the Gulf, ripping lives apart and destroying her hometown of Pass Christian. That's when Robin realized, if there's something you want to do it now. You may never get a second chance. That's why she wrote her book, From the Heart.
Everything has to come from the heart. You know, it just really does. I mean, if it comes from the heart, if you're doing it from the heart, you're going to find success, period. Because you're doing it for the right reasons, your heart is in it.
From her heart, Robin has continued to reach out to others despite facing her own challenges in life. In 2011, she underwent a bone marrow transplant to treat myelodysplastic syndrome, or MDS, a disease also known as pre-leukemia. The national nonprofit marrow donor program, Be the Match, had a nearly 2,000% spike in donors the day she went public with her illness. Robin's own donor was her sister Sally Ann of WWL-TV in New Orleans. In Robin's honor, Southeastern students embarked on a year-long program to educate the public and recruit potential bone marrow donors for patients diagnosed with leukemia and other life-threatening blood diseases. The program, called Swabbin' for Robin, recruited a university record number of potential bone marrow donors for Be the Match. For her battle against the disease, Robin received a 2012 Peabody Award and the prestigious Arthur Ashe Courage Award at ESPN's 2013 ESPY Awards. Robin says she's always followed one principle to help her through tough circumstances. From Chapter 6 of her book, focus on the solution, not the problem.
We all have problems. We all have our Katrinas. We all have our 9/11s. We all have these moments that just devastate us beyond belief, that just catch us off guard. Are we going to focus on that, or are we going to focus on the solution? And so many times we're all guilty of just rehashing the problem, and we spend all of our energy on that we have nothing, no resources left to work on the solution. So that's key.
When Robin returned to the anchor set 5 months after her bone marrow transplant, Good Morning America posted its highest ratings in 2 years. Yet, despite her prominence and popularity around the world, Robin has never forgotten her alma mater. In 2013, she made a large donation to Southeastern Athletics to renovate its press box at Strawberry Stadium in the name of John Chauvin, who first hired Robin in college at WFPR Radio in Hammond. She recently sang the praises of Southeastern in her version of Good Morning America's segment, Back to School, where she returned to the campus to visit the University Center where she played basketball and the KSLU radio station where she served as a reporter. Robin's honorary degree was approved last year by Southeastern's governing body, the University of Louisiana System Board of Supervisors.
I think it's really important that we help our students understand how successful they can be. And of course, Robin is one of our most famous graduates, obviously very successful, and not just successful professionally, but she is someone who has I think become very successful in terms of her generosity with herself, in terms of dealing with personal trials and tribulations in a way that would help others who might face those kinds of challenges. And I think really has become a model for that kind of person nationally. So she's certainly someone that we'd like to have our students emulate, and I think she is a great person to put in front of our students in a way that helps them see just how successful Southeastern graduates can be in many ways. So it's an honor for the university really to be able to award Robin an honorary doctorate, and certainly she has earned it, and we'll be very proud to provide that honor. One of the things I think that's really unique about Robin is I think sometimes when people achieve great fame and fortune or success, they sometimes tend to forget where they came from. And Robin has steadfastly remembered her roots, not just here at Southeastern, but where she grew up in Pass Christian and this region of the country. And so I think it's just another measure of what kind of wonderful person she is, that she remembers her roots, she remembers her time here at Southeastern, and not just remembers it, but talks very fondly about it. Fondly, not just in terms of that she enjoyed her time here, but that her time here was very productive in terms of preparing her for the future successes that she would enjoy in life.
Robin will receive the degree before 1,200 graduates in the same University Center arena where she starred for the Lady Lions basketball team 30 years ago.